The United Nations created a programme to support member countries in their efforts to combat the threat of international terrorism. The United Nations established the Office of Counter-Terrorism, or the OCT, in June, and it now means the UN has an agency dedicated to addressing terrorism as a major threat to global peace and security. Briefing the UN Security Council for the first time, the newly appointed Under-Secretary-General of the OCT, Vladimir Voronkov, said his office would help to strengthen international cooperation and work to prevent violent extremism around the world. He says his office will address cyber-terrorism in all its forms and the threat of foreign terrorist fighters. But the US ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, while praising the new office, said the UN must and can do more to help fight terrorism around the world, and she urged the UN to step up its efforts. The continent of Africa is an area of particular concern, with terrorist threats spanning the breadth of the continent, with al-Shabaab in the east and Boko Haram in the west. Islamist groups also threaten governments in North Africa, particularly in the Sahel region, extending all the way up into Libya. Voronkov mentioned the recently created G5 Sahel Joint Force, which is based in Mali. The UN recognised the need for a specialist unit focused on the extremist threats in Burkina Faso, Chad, Mali, Mauritania and Niger. The first troops for that force are due to be deployed next month to combat terrorism and drugs, as well as human and arms trafficking. And it's likely to work in close coordination with the new Office of Counter-Terrorism. Nick Harper, CGTN, New York.